Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Rachel Smith, Business Grower. I am just going to wait until people have joined us. So if you're watching the replay or if you're watching somewhere else where I can't actually see that you've joined us, just bear with us for a few minutes. It does take people a little while to know that we are on. And I have just been making some notes really about everything I want to cover today. And God, there's a lot. So we could be here for a little while. So all really powerful, helpful, massively. This is the stuff that people really very rarely share. And if you have been part of my world for, even for a short period of time, you will understand that I'm here to help and serve you. And if I can share some of this stuff, which is personal and private, but is actually going to make a positive difference to you, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Good morning, Lynn. Good morning, Victoria. Oh, I'm very excited as well. So I've got a lot going on today. We've got, I'm a member of the Female Entrepreneur Association. I've been a member for about over a year, I think now. And in York today, we're going to have our first meetup. So it'd be really nice to meet some fellow business owners. Morning, Jules. Lovely to see you here. Oh, it's so good to see everybody here. Right, let's get started, because there is a ton of stuff that I want to share with you. So good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I might just pop you there. As you know, my connection can be a bit temporary. It can be a bit dodgy. So basically, if you lose connection from me, it may be that I've lost connection. So just wait, and I'll come back on. It may be you've lost connection. So just check it out. Yeah, a nice day, Victoria, really nice. I'm feeling the pressure because I'm aiming to finish on the 16th, which is next Friday, and I've got lots of client calls. I've got lots of things to kind of get underway, but it's all really exciting stuff. And obviously I don't really need to finish on the 16th. That's just when the children finish. So if you need to leave at any time, obviously this might go on for a little while. I've got some time this morning, so ask your questions. Let's make it as interactive as possible. Morning, Jen. Absolutely lovely to see you here. So let's get started. So as you know, I'm Rachel Smith, Business Grower. You've all here have been part of my world for a little while, and I only started Live Your Abundant Life as a group kind of April, May time last year. It'd been a dormant group for a little while. And I have another group which it's got nearly 700 members in it, but I feel quite disconnected from it. And at the time, that's absolutely fine, Victoria. At the time, I felt quite disconnected from my large community, so I created Live Your Abundant Life, and I absolutely love it. I love you guys in it, and I love the connection that we've got and the fact that you show up and you help and support each other, and I think it's amazing. So an absolute credit to all of you. But and obviously the kind of latter part of this year, my message has very much been about how you can grow your business, and how I've turned my business around, and how I've moved from earning like a couple of £100 a month to earning several £1,000s in a week. And it's really easy, isn't it? And we've talked about this before, but it's really easy when you hear somebody sharing a message like that, because you just put them in a container and you say, well, that's all right for her, she's over there. And then you've got your own backstory and it's running through your head, and I'm over here in my container, and you might even make the mistake of putting me on a little pedestal and saying, well, she's got it all sorted out. And I can honestly say I haven't got it all sorted out by any stretch of the imagination. I still have got a lot to learn, a lot of systems put in place, which is going to happen in 2017. I was going to say 18, but 17, I'm making a commitment to do it then. And I just really wanted to kind of take me out of that container, if you've got me in one, and really kind of be very honest and possibly even quite vulnerable here, and share the truth, what has really happened in my business in 2016, because it's not been all glorious. So let's start with that. So I have shared this previously, that so the Business Grower was launched in 2014. 2014 was very much that kind of infancy, find my feet as business coach. I'd previously been a personal coach, and I'd been running a networking group for business women for a couple of years by then. And I'd been getting the call to change my business model, and I resisted it because I was in awe of all these amazing business coaches, and I had that whole like, who am I to? Anyhow, I got over myself and spent a lot of money on my branding. In fact, I'll tell you how much money I spent on my little logo. I spent £2,000 on my branding. Even now, I am amazed at that. And the branding, I love it, and I didn't even have a business name or anything like that. But the thing that I loved the most was the woman that I worked with, and she was absolutely amazing. She was a branding expert, but actually she was a brilliant, brilliant business coach herself. Oh, thanks, Jen. So that kind of launched 2014, very much 12 months of infancy, and still struggling with this whole like, who am I? Anyhow, 2015, I was working with another business coach who had a fabulous business model, but basically I thought I wanted to be her, and all she could teach me was what she did. And I worked so frigging hard. I was working like 40, 50 hours a week and getting so little back in return, and just getting totally frustrated. I mean, you know, we talked about boxes and people being in boxes. I definitely had myself in a box, and I kept looking at everybody else, including my coach, and going, well, obviously it can't happen for me. I'm not intelligent enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not young enough, I'm not dynamic enough, I'm not business enough to actually make my business work. And it just felt really, really, really hard work. And my business was growing, I was making money in it, but it was really like this. Oh my gosh, you know, I'd like do a launch, it'd be great, and then it'd be nothing. And really, at the end of 2015, I was pretty much on my knees. You know, I've got a young family. I manage all the childcare on my own, which I know lots of us do. But that's a lot of like working 5 hours a day, and it just didn't feel enough with the business model that I had. So towards the latter part of 2015, I was like, this cannot continue. My health was going down the pan. You know, I've always been really fit and healthy, and that was just going out the window. I wasn't seeing my friends, I wasn't connecting with my family, and I was worried and anxious about money, about where I was going to find my next clients, how I was going to up level, all of these things. You know, such kind of mind monkeys churning around here all the time. So I decided I'd listen to a piece of advice that somebody else had given me, and I just thought, yes, that's totally what I needed to do. So this advice had been, you know, somebody had looked at and it's actually the coach that I'm working with at the moment, who is absolutely amazing, Carly Herb. She actually got on a call in 2015, and she looked at my business model, and she said, the thing is, you're slogging away, and you know, all this time and energy that you're putting into trying to sell a £300 like coaching package, you could like easily put that time and energy into selling bigger packages. And I was like, no. So at the end of 2015, I decided that my business model wasn't working as it was. It wasn't filling me with joy, and it wasn't actually making my business grow either. And it just felt like hard work, and so I totally revised what the business grow was, who I was working with, and I put my prices up. And then in January, I did a big launch, which was absolutely rubbish. I got one sign up. By then, I'd totally put my life on hold. I'd put a stack of weight on. I wasn't fit anymore. I was feeling really rubbish about my business, really rubbish about not seeing my family and my health and all the rest of it. So that was January this year. But did I give up? No, because I had made a declaration at the end of 2015 that I was going to do whatever it took to make my business a success, and the success that I wanted it to be. So I just picked myself up after that launch, and I was like, right, what have I learned from it? And I retreated a little bit. And what I learned from it is that when you're in launch mode, your visibility is massively high. So even though the launch that I'd actually ran hadn't generated income, it had actually massively increased my visibility. Oh, thanks, Jen. And I was like, this is one of the keys to success. And, I love being visible. And I was using Periscope at the time and pre-recorded videos. And a little bit later on in 2016, Facebook obviously gave us Facebook Live. And for me, that changed everything, because I'd been using video. I was comfortable with video. And I was like, right, I've got clarity about what the business grower is. I've got clarity about who I want to work with and how I want to work with it. I know what my business model is, and I know that visibility is absolutely key to you growing your business. You know, I was growing my audience. Might not be generating any money, but I was growing my audience, and you know that was the second element, was that you can have a really big list or you can have a really small list. It doesn't really matter. What matters is what you do with the people who are part of your tribe, who are part of your audience. If you were just selling to them and adding absolutely no value, your relationship is going to be quite weak. But if you add a ton of value, like I give to you guys, this is what makes a difference in your ability then to connect with your audience, to add value, to build that relationship. And you know, in the future, when that person is ready to come and work with you, they will come and work with you. So that was kind of the second thing, is, you know, first one, visibility, that's made a massive difference in 2016. Second one is about deepening your relationship with your audience. So think about ways that you can deepen your relationship with your audience. It doesn't have to be video. There's lots of other things that you can do in terms of that. And it really was a case of understanding that being consistent with all of this was also like the kind of third element to this, is that you've got to be consistent with your visibility. There's no point in like being visible when you're in the middle of a launch and just like going for it and then disappearing, because what happens to all of those people that you had been supporting with your value and your content during the launch period, and then you just disappear, and then the next time you're back is when you launch something else, and it pisses people off. And also, they will go and find somebody else to work with if at the point when you've disappeared they're ready to work with you. So don't give up. And it might feel that sometimes you're shouting into a black hole. You know, I've done live streams on here and I felt like I'm shouting into a black hole. But now people show up, people get value from what I do. And if I'd given up, I wouldn't have refined my message. I wouldn't have refined my ability to be live on video. I wouldn't have grown my business. And I wouldn't have you guys listening to me, getting some value, working with me. So consistency is absolutely key. And who said that you had to, on day one, let's say you decided to use live stream, who said on day one you had to rock up and be an absolute expert at it? Nobody. And there's only you that's going to think that you're not an expert at something. You know, we all know that like live video can be like this. It can be, you know, walking down the street. It can be jumping around and being crazy. It can be any of those things. We don't expect live stream to be like the television and it's all poised and beautiful. It's real, isn't it? That's why people like it. So if you're getting stuck in your own way about being consistently visible and you feel like you're not getting any feedback from your audience, keep going, because if I hadn't kept going in 2016, I wouldn't have the business that I've got now. And of course, I'm going to say this next one. You're not going to be surprised at this. Mindset is absolutely everything. I will say that every time I've grown in my business, it's because I've been doing the daily work on a mindset and I've got really clear about what I'm focusing on, and I've built that unstoppable kind of belief that it's going to happen. And I'm going to share something with you that I've just had total revelation about today. So I was getting ready. Everybody had left the house. It was all nice and quiet. I was getting ready. And I was thinking about what was happening next Friday. So next Friday, my husband and I are going away for the night without the children. And we're going to a boutique, beautiful, beautiful hotel. And I was going, oh, it's like my head going, oh, that'd be really nice. That's, you know, it'd be really nice. Da, 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 like this. And then it dawned on me why this has occurred. And not so long ago, I was doing some, you know, visioning about what my future life and business was going to hold. And whenever we're looking at mindset, whenever we're looking at business growth and generating growth in our business, one of the things that really helps to connect with what it is that you're working really hard to achieve is when you've got a really clear, defined reason why money should come into you in the first place. So I've said this lots of times in this group, is that money likes to know where you want, where you want it to go. So some of my kind of journaling work, my mindset work, is defining the money that I'd like to come into me and where I will be using it. And one of the things that I had journaled about was growing my business and all of the things around that, and how great it was going to be work with the most amazing women. And I truly do feel very blessed with the clients that I've got. But one of the things that I was journaling about this particular exercise was how I was going to use that money. And one of the ways that I was going to use that money when I was journaling, this is like, I don't know, 8-9 months ago, I was talking about how my husband and I were going to get the opportunity to take some time out without the children to reconnect and go and stay in the most beautiful, gorgeous settings. And I made this hotel reservation in July. So it's not as though, I talked about it 8-9 months ago and then it's only happening now. I actually made that booking in July and made that commitment that we were going to take this time out in December. And that's how powerful having, working your mindset truly is that when you get really clear about everything it is, whether it's your health, your relationship, your business, your money, whatever it is, when you get really, really clear about it and you journal about it and you have all that freedom in your head and your mind and your body about what it is that you're calling in, that's when it happens. That's when, you show up. That's when you get clarity about your message. That's when you go out there and create an amazing offer and you have this energy around you that people are attracted to you. And that's when you get to work with the most amazing, fabulous clients. And that's how you grow your business. So I hope that's been useful to kind of share that element of how, the mindset work really, really helps bring really important aspects to your life. And it's kind of like, you might be thinking, well, mindset work's always talking about like this future life, but when's it going to happen? And it can happen really, really, really fast. If I was journaling about this about 8-9 months ago, it occurred like a couple of months later, didn't it? So that's how fast, and you can accelerate that. And I've shared how you can do that before. So mindset is one of the things that whenever I create, whenever I work on my mindset, that is where my business work. But the other element of this success is, how do you actually grow your business? Yes, it's about visibility. Yes, it's about consistency. Yes, it's about your relationship with your audience. But the kind of second key golden nugget from all of this I'm going to share today is that every time I have invested in myself, in my business, in my future business, that is when I have made money in my business. So we've all had experiences where we've been on training programs or we've worked with people and it hasn't quite gone as we wanted. But when you start to get really clear, and that's what the mindset work does to you, when you get really clear about what's missing in your business, in your knowledge, and the elements that are going to make a positive difference, that's when you can really strategically decide what exactly you were going to invest in. And that's what happened to me at the beginning of 2016, is that when I was, when I'd made this declaration that I wasn't giving up and that I was changing everything and I was going to be the success that I wanted to, I started to identify exactly what was it that I was failing in. And some of it was selling, some of it was visibility, and some of it was definitely in January about launching. And I invested in myself, and every single time I have invested in myself, even when I didn't have the frigging money, I have made bank. And that is one of the absolute reasons why there are people who grow their business and there are people who don't grow their business. And one of the strategic things to think about when you're looking at investing in your business is the return on your investment. So you might be looking at some some support that's looking like several £100, but you've got to think beyond that. What is that going to allow you to achieve because you've invested at that level? Let me give you an example. So in March, I think it was, I invested in a coach you had never heard of, and she was amazing. And within 7 days, I was gagging to buy whatever it was she was selling, and I've continued to work with her. And I invested £400 in a programme when I was thinking, ooh, £400, that's 400 quid, that, would be quite nice for me, really. So I spent £400 on a programme, and my return on investment, so the steps that I did after that, actually generated more than £2,000 in sales and continues to have a positive impact throughout my business plan. So that my return on investment was massive there. So yes, I spent £400 on training, but it's opened the door to so many other possibilities and ways of working and ways of running my business. and ways of generating money. So I really want you to think about, if you're not investing in your business, how is that both positively and not positively impacting on your business? So let's give you some statistics around this, is that only 9% of women run their own business. 9%. So we are, ladies, we are the minority, and I've said it before, but we are the pioneers as well. But 9% of women run their business. Now, isn't that interesting? Because I don't know the male statistics, but I'd imagine that the male will be in the double figures. Because men have no problem in investing themselves at all, do they? I see it in my husband all the time. He doesn't spend a ton of money on himself at all. But he has a lovely car, and he has no bones about having a lovely car at all. And, it's like the car's not that important to me. But he has a beautiful car, and he in his head, he's like, I work freaking hard, I'm going to have the car that I want. Where I'm running around in a Mini that's lovely, but it's 6.5 years old. It definitely needs it needs some love, does my Mini. But it's kind of like, for me, there's lots of other things that I'd like us to invest in as a family and as an individual before I upgrade my car. I will upgrade it. It's going to get upgraded in March. I know that because I've journaled about it. But I don't know the male statistic about how many men run their own business, but 9%, ladies. 9%. I mean, that will grow, won't it? Because we're showing women the way that you can run a business around, your life, your family, whatever it is that you want. That you don't actually have to work 9 to 5, and you don't have to work for other people. But 9%. So let's think about those 9% of women who actually run a successful business. And they are like me, and they're like my clients. They are showing up and they're doing the work. Because so many times I hear people talking about, well, I did this program and it didn't work. It's like, did you actually do the steps though? Did you actually totally invest in it? Lynn's with me. She's investing in her. She's upgrading her car. So I think Lynn must be a car person. She's excited about this. I'm quite excited actually. I kind of like the research element of doing it. Brilliant. So let's think about those 9% of women who run a successful business, and they do the work. They invest in themselves. They show up. They're doing the work. They're consistent with whatever it is that they do. They pick themselves up off the floor, regardless of what the hell went on, and they keep on going. They're visible. Think about every woman that you love to follow, whose email address, whose email list you're on, or whose live streams you come on. But they show up and they add tons and tons of value. Those 9% of women who are running a successful business have got a fabulous mindset. And again, if we compare like male mindset, I think we probably all know that they have, in the whole, a really positive, brilliant kind of belief in themselves. And I can see that in my 10-year-old son, and I endorse it. The more people who believe in themselves, the better. But they also have a brilliant relationship with money. They can call money in. They have no problem in asking for money. They have no problem in creating high-end products and services, and they have no problem in going out there and asking for it. So that is, that is like a snapshot of what has happened in my life in the last kind of 12 months. And I can tell you that, I've got money in the bank. I'm investing all the time in my business. I've got some really exciting plans. I can't tell you how many times I got to December, I was burnt out, really fed up, quite disillusioned, and had no plan, no idea for January. I know, we're investing in another property. We're got some really exciting travel plans for next year. 2017 is going to be the year that I bring so many amazing products and services to the market, that I'm going to work with my clients in such a deep, beautiful, graceful way to actually do the best work that I can do with them and the best work that they can do as well. This group is going to get bigger. It is, 2017 is going to be such an awesome year. And the thing is about 2016, we've had a lot of change, we've had a lot of loss, haven't we? You know, think about all those amazing people who have, you know, the people, celebrities who died this year. People have lost some key members in their own personal lives. 2016 has all been about change. It's all been about letting go of the old way. 2017, it's going to be about all the new stuff. And what I want for you guys is to feel as if you're wide open for business. I don't want you to be where I used to be, where I was scared and worried all the time and having this kind of total dialogue about what they're, you know, how rubbish I was. And look at this person over here, they're so amazing, it's all right for them. You know, it's kind of like, don't put people in containers, because we're all on different journeys, we're all in different cycles of our journey as well. But what I've got some questions for you. So my questions are, you know, if you are serious about growing your business, what is it going to take for you to step up in 2017? So that's the first question I'd really like you to consider. And if you want to share it on here, brilliant, because I can help you some more. But if you are like listening to me, or you've been listening to other content I've been sharing, or you've been listening to other people, and you're like, do you know what? I'm ready to make that declaration that 2017 is going to be my year. The first question I want you to consider is, you know, what is it going to take for you to step up in your business in 2017? And I also want you to think about, you know, where are you holding yourself back? So is it on your mindset? Is it on your visibility? Is it on your consistency? Is it about your self-worth, your self-value? Oh, that's exciting. What is it that is, you know, is where you're holding back? Is it about the fact that you've seen something or somebody that you know that you want to invest in and you're holding back for that? And that's kind of the second question. And the third question is, you know, what are you not doing in your business? So that is the kind of third question. So those questions are, you know, what is it going to take for you to step up in your business in 2017 and have the business that you love? Where are you currently holding back from? And what are you not doing? So just think about those questions whilst we're here. Let me just check the comments. So Jen was just sharing that she lost a client, and we talked about this, Jen, because she lost a client in the most beautiful way. And I hope Jen doesn't mind me sharing this. But she lost this client because Jen is the most authentic person, and she's a therapist, but the way that she works with her clients is that she intuitively understands what it is that they need from her. And with this particular client, she understood that this client needed something else that Jen actually doesn't currently provide. So actually Jen served this client in the most beautiful, fantastic and brilliant way possible, is that she let her know, or him know, I don't know if it's male or female, how she could actually, you know, do the work that she needs to do. And so Jen hasn't really lost a client. She's probably gained so many from that act of love that she was coming from. You know, she wasn't coming from a place of fear. She was coming from a place of love, of like, how can I serve my client? And this is what grows your business. Sometimes we're so stuck in our own ways about, you know, how the hell are we going to grow our business? I can't do this, I can't do that. And it's like, listen, if Jen hadn't been so honest and coming from a place of love with her client wouldn't have moved on, would they? So let's have a look. So Lynn's saying that she's totally changing her business model in 2017. I'm looking forward to seeing that, Lynn. And she's just invested in a 6-month mastermind. Ooh, I'll tell you something about masterminds as well. I'm currently in a mastermind and I absolutely love it. And I run masterminds. And it's one of the most powerful, beautiful ways that you can work with people. And I've actually got I'll give you a sneaky peek actually. I'm going to be writing at some point this week when I get through my list of things to do. Is I'm going to create I think it's an 8-week profit. I've renamed it. It's going to be called the Growth Incubator, and it's going to be like an 8-week powerhouse where I'll be calling women in who really want to make 2017 the best year possible so far. And yes, they're going to come in and they're going to work with me in the most beautiful, powerful way, and we're going to kick some butt in 2017. So if you're interested in that let me know. It's not. I run masterminds throughout the year now. Some of them are high level, but this one is kind of not high level. So it's very accessible for all. So let me know about that. So Lynn's investing, and Lynn, it would be really fabulous. Like we talked about ROI, return on investment. So, in terms of your return on investment, if you don't want to share the figures, don't feel like you need to. But in terms of how much you believe that your return on your investment is actually going to generate, it'd be really interesting to know that. So is it going to be like, twice, 3, 4 times? That'd be great to know. So Lynn isn't, she's not outsourcing my struggles finding the right virtual team, but I will find them. Jen loves the mastermind. Yeah, Jen's been part of every single mastermind I've done, and it's great. Lynn says that sounds exciting. Jen's got her planners, so yes, brilliant. What I was going to say, Lynn, I totally am with you about a team. What have I done this year? So Kelly Carnes, who's in this group, and she's amazing. She's the person who created my website, and she does everything for me techie wise. So she's amazing, and I've actually got her to price up a piece of an individual work where I'm going to be creating a sales funnel, and I could do it. I don't want to. Kelly can do it. She'll be amazing at that. But she puts all my web stuff up, and it's cool. And then Anna in this group, she's one of my clients, and Anna is going to take on some of my VA work because I've always been a bit like, I'll do some. But then, you just think, well, actually, Anna is amazing, so why wouldn't I have her in my team? So my team's growing, actually, so I'm very excited about that. And, there'll be some more growth to that. I have tried to grow it in other areas this year, but it hasn't worked so much. What did I want to mention? Right. As we speak, Kelly is putting together the sales page for the signature client attraction plans. So these are kind of 3-hour deep diving strategy sessions between myself and whoever is coming to work with me, where we look at all of this together in a 3-hour intensive. And we're looking at your visibility, your business model, your pricing, your products and services, your next launch. There's loads and loads in that 3 hours, and believe me, I can get through a lot in 3 hours. I work fast, and I'll take you with me. And then in terms of implementation, part of the client attraction work is that you get an implementation day with me as well. So basically, I will help you implement all of those things, because we're all great, aren't we? Getting great ideas and lots of notes, and then we do nothing with it. So actually, the thing that I'm interested in is that I'm interested in working with women who are actually going to do the work, because they are the best possible people for me to work with, and it means that I do my best possible work as well. So if you're interested in that, this the client attraction plan is your personal plan for 2017. It means that you're not going to rock up in January and February and have your fingers crossed and hoping and praying that the business is going to work. You're actually you're going to know what you're doing. I'm booked out on Monday for that. I have got some slots left for next week. I'm also taking bookings for January as well. It's £397. With that, the first 6 people who book get £100 off the next thing. So if you're thinking, so one way of looking at it is, if you fancy joining the mastermind in 2017, you could get £100 off that after and so that would work really neatly, because you'd have your plan, and then you'd have like your own group to come in and do the freaking work in 2017. So that's how we're going to roll in 2017. So if you are interested in the client attraction plan, if you know that actually you don't want to be hitting the ground in January and February, face down in the dirt going, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know how I'm going to grow my business, right, I'll just go back to doing a load of free webinars and things like that. If you actually want to know how to grow your business, if you want a plan, if you want to be able to hit the ground running, come and work with me. It's £397. I'm not telling you how ridiculous that price is. And we're going to do some great work. I'm really, really excited. Shelley has signed up and is working with me, so I'm really excited about that. Poor Shelley, she's going to get a butt kicked on Monday. Yeah, Anna is in the group. So Anna, she's not here. I know she's got her head down. She's doing a ton of work. So if you are interested in some VA support, that Anna's there. Right, guys, is there any other questions? This has been a great live stream. I loved it. I've loved it. I've even kept my hair straight for you. It's very misty here. It does awful things to my hair, so I wrapped it up and put it in a big old hat, and then I didn't look too crazy this morning when I jumped on the live stream. So I've loved that. I'm going to share a load more stuff because basically, guys, you are my buddies, you are my crowds, and many of you are my clients. And I want you in that 9%. I want 9%. You know, I want you to be the 9% of women who are growing their amazing business, who are loving life, who can, you know, like, it's the whole thing, isn't it? It's not just about, oh, you know, my business. It's about how that positively impacts and everything. You know, Lynn's been able to invest in a big mastermind. She's going to buy a new car. It's life-changing for her. You know, I've shared some of the things that have happened in 2016 because of my business growth and obviously the plans I've got for 2017. Don't put us in containers. Come and work with us. Come and do the work and be the 9%. That is, you know, that's what I'm saying to you. So client attraction plan, I've got some availability for next week. After that, I'm booking for January. So there you go. Jen, I love you. She's going for world domination. Yeah. Right, guys, have a fabulous day. Anybody who's listening back to the recording, just post any questions that you've got in there. There's a ton of stuff in there, and you can do it. And you can contact and work with me as well. Okay, I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.